handshake.
Please roll a d20.
Yeah!
Please. Before you stands a tall mountain, and carved into the mountain is a large stone door. The stone door looks like it's made of melted crystal in the middle of the stone door. And in front of the stone door is a
Dungeons & Dragons, a game enjoyed by an estimated 13.7 million active players. We brought together a group of 4 players and a dungeon master to learn about their views of the public's understanding of the game and their own personal experiences.
Stranger Things.
Stranger Things, massively popular series on Netflix, and the main characters all enjoy Dungeons & Dragons, and I think that has sort of brought it into the limelight. People are looking into it and seeing it, experiencing it, and thinking, this is actually pretty cool.
Obviously since Critical Role came out, I feel like that's had a huge influence on D&D, and it's definitely given it more light.
Hello everyone, and welcome to tonight's episode of Critical Role, where a bunch of us nerdy-ass voice actors sit around and play Dungeons & Dragons.
D20 and all the different like Critical Role and all that. It's become a lot more appealing to general people as well.
definitely like back in the 80s and stuff when it was supposedly demon worship to play Dungeons & Dragons.
There was speculation he was the victim of a campus game called Dungeons & Dragons.
I feel like that's almost completely gone now.
These children not only begin to have violent dreams or violent thoughts or negative, depressing type things, they become very much a part of this character.
I feel like it's not relevant anymore, yeah.
Every time I tell people at work that I play D&D, the first thing they say is like, oh, do you dress up? And as if that's a negative thing. And I'm like, no, you don't have to dress up. They all look at you like you're a bit strange, a bit weird. And usually geek or nerd or stuff like that is all associated with it.
That only nerds play it, basically. That only, like, the people that you see skulking around the game stores and stuff are the only ones that play D&D. But the fact is, like, everyone's getting into it now. Like, you see, like, people like Travis Willingham built like a tank, and he loves his like football and stuff like that, and he's obsessed with it. Like, yeah, it's crazy.
That we're all fat nerds. You play it in your mum's basement, I guess, is probably like the biggest one. But completely not true. You know, various different people play Dungeons and Dragons and enjoy it, including celebrities nowadays.
I'm Terry Crews, Boag the blacksmith, the Mag-Har orc warrior.
After 800 years, you learn a thing or two.
Sort of the whole being a nerd and that jazz. But, I mean, while there's still a small amount of that still around, like, who cares, really? It's just a fun game. If you enjoy it, you play it. If you don't, you just stick out of it, you know?
I would say they're pretty accurate. I say I would proudly call myself a nerd or a geek.
So what kept me playing it was the fact that you could just hang out with mates pretty much, and just pretty much do whatever you wanted. Just mess around. If you wanted to go murder hobo, kill everyone in the village, you pretty much could. And yeah, it was interesting storytelling and actually being part of stories.
I guess it's a sense of escapism from mundane life. We read books, we watch movies to get sense of adventure. And we always watch movies and read books and be like, oh, that person's so dumb, why didn't they do this instead? And D&D gives you that chance to be able to do that. But it doesn't necessarily mean you'll be able to do all these cool things, because it is luck of the dice as well.
I would say the versatility. Like, you can, like, rather than being, like, with video games and stuff, you've got, like, a set story. But with D&D, you can basically direct the story whichever way you want. Like, there's a base narrative, but I think it's the fact that you have an effect on the plot. Like, you can actually, you can change the direction.
Great friends. I would say almost a community type thing. It opens up more avenues where, you meet more people, and then they show you their interests, and then you get into other things.
Just a good group of friends. Just something to do every Friday night, every Tuesday night, and most nights of the week, really.
Funny enough, the recent job that I started at, I managed to bring Dungeons and Dragons into the job interview when he was asking about how I work as part of a team, because most of my jobs before this one have been sort of solo sort of careers where you don't work in teams. So it's the only thing I could draw on, and it builds those skills. You interact with people, everyone has different ideas of how to solve a specific problem. You have to work together to choose one.
I mean, because I got into cosplay first, but yeah, I guess I'm starting to think of not just making characters, or like not just making armor and stuff from video games, but like making stuff from my characters. Like I want to cosplay. It's one of those things where I want to dress as one of my characters, but I know that no one's gonna get it. But I'm kind of okay with that. So yeah.
So as an artist, it is in quite a few of my paintings and different things I like to depict. So I do enjoy drawing things such as Rumgut, who got sent to hell, and things like that. And it lets you sort of imagine different visual scenarios while you're playing. And as you're picturing it all together, you can sort of get ideas for paintings.
Well, I like to cosplay and I like to make things, so that has kind of enhanced because I've met other people through D&D that like to do those things as well, that I can get more advice from and help from, so I can do it more. I really like to write stories as well, so D&D kind of helps to fuel that imagination as well, and help you with all your other kind of creative hobbies, because it's quite a creative thing.
Absolutely. I've got so many more people than I thought that play D&D than I've made really good friends over the past year or so. So, yeah.
They should definitely give it a go. There are a lot of stereotypes behind it, but I think once you get into it, I think D&D, there's a little bit for everyone to have, whether or not, you necessarily like fantasy things. Even if you don't, there are kind of other roles that you can do in D&D that's quite fun that they can do.
Because it's probably the most fun you can have sat around a table. Because if you like books, if you like movies, if you like video games, and you want to be involved in it and have a direct influence, that's Dungeons and Dragons.